Well, Wall Street tumbled yesterday, so a 600-point cut on the Dow Jones as well as a 3% cut on the Nasdaq. The S&P too fell by about 2%. So the whole on Wall Street was the size of an apple. Apple was down about 5% in yesterday's trading session, and that's because one of its vendors, the guys who make the face recognition technology for iPhones, cut their guidance for the next quarter. Apple's decline also led all the other tech stocks lower. So we have Amazon and Google parent Alphabet also falling. Amazon, in fact, has fallen 20% from its 52-week high, so now in bear territory. We also had the biggest fall in 7 years that we've seen in Goldman Sachs. This is after the Malaysian finance minister has demanded a refund from the company for working with a scam-tainted government investment fund. Add to that, we had GE, which fell below $8 for the first time since 2009. And the CEO has told CNBC TV18 they feel, not TV18, CNBC, the urgency to cut debt. That is what took GE lower. Concomitantly, across the Atlantic, we saw cuts on the European markets as well. But it will be important to see what happens for us. Given the crude oil prices, they are back below the $70 per barrel mark. However, the dollar index is at a 16-month high, so let's watch out for that one too. Most of Asia, in fact, all of Asia is in the red. The SGX Nifty indicates a cut of almost 50 points at the start.
Okay, thank you very much. The global Q is obviously not looking too good, but 0.42 compared to other Asian markets, which are looking, pretty bad, between 1.5% and 3% down in Asia. But we have another very important positive news to celebrate. Lenders, bankers, that is, to SKS Power have signed a deal to sell that company to Agri Trade Resources for 2,170 crores. The consortium of lenders includes State Bank of India, I think is led by State Bank of India, and includes PTC, L&T Financial Services, etc. Anshula Kant, Managing Director of State Bank of India, joins us on the phone line. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. This is part of the Samadhan list of power companies that SBI was looking to find buyers?
Yes, it is one of those.
Okay, how much money do the bankers get? I think they get about 150 crore?
No, this is the amount you mentioned is 2,170 crores.
Yes. Of that, part of it
is... This is roughly about, I would say about 41% of the exposure is what we will get.
Okay.
So, haircut of, I would say, close to 60% on this transaction.
Okay, so haircut of 60% on this transaction.
59, to be precise.
All right.
Okay, 59%. Got that. Yeah. Any more sales that we can expect over the next, say, 5 to 6 months?
We are looking at a few assets. It is only thing is this one had a big advantage. We had almost about 84% share in this among lenders, and there were very few number of lenders in SKS. Okay. Whereas in all the others, the number of lenders is very large, and that is what is proving to be one of the challenges. Oh. The other thing is, Lata, let me say this also, while we're very happy that, we've signed on this transaction, but the fact is that there are a lot of CPs to be complied with, meaning that we need permissions from state government, we need permissions from, NPCL, which is the PPA providing entity, etc. So a lot of clearances, this is all subject to a lot of clearances. So we have 90 days time for that. Hopefully it should go through, and the counterparty has already put roughly around 350 crores in an escrow account.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Hong Kong Exchange carried that release.
That's right, yeah.
But Ms. Kant, what will be the impact on your P&L? Does the 300 crores come into the profit straight away? Or, how much did you provide for it already?
That I'll have to check. I think it was either doubtful 1 or doubtful 2, depending on where it was. We may need to make some additional provision.
Oh, so it doesn't immediately add to the profit?
No.
Okay. Can you give us...
But it does, the thing is, it does reduce our NPA by about 4,200 crores.
Oh, okay. That's significant.
That's a significant number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will also mean that your net NPA numbers and all will look better.
Definitely, and that is actually the whole idea. The other is, of course, that in this through this route, we may be able to optimize the value a little more than we are expecting under the NCLT route. This transaction, this case is also filed under the NCLT, not yet admitted, but it is under NCLT.
Okay.
So once all the other CPs are complied with, then we will withdraw from NCLT.
Okay.
Otherwise, it stays there till then.
Okay. You were a little skeptical about the other companies under Samadhan. You expect
Not
any
really
of them?
we do. I'm not skeptical. The only thing is the challenge is there are more because there are more lenders, more number of counterparties, so consensus building takes more time there. But maybe out of those 4 or 5, I think maybe at least 2 or 3 should happen.
So what would the quantum of those 2 or 3 sales be approximately?
Maybe for SBI alone, it would be 8 to 10,000 crores.
Oh, okay. That is significant. So for the industry, it could be about 20,000 crores that could get resolved.
Possibly.
Okay. Is that in this quarter that we should expect? Could take longer?
It is very hard to say, Lata, because we live on day to day from this.
So this 8 to 10,000 crores, I mean, even if it happens over the next, say, 5 to 6 months, what kind of a haircut are we looking at on an average? I mean, 60% or so?
Not in all cases. This one has the highest haircut, actually. I was looking at the other numbers. It varies between 50%, in 1 or 2 cases, maybe even lower than 50%.
Okay. Ms. Kant, since we have you with us, how does the NBFC, HFC debt problem look now? SBI itself has bought a few loans, isn't it? How much would you have bought?
Lata, let's not go there at this point. I thought we were going to talk about the power sector. But yes, things are looking a little more under control now. That is clear. And I think we passed the worst of it, but things are still, still challenging. And what we are seeing is that liquidity is still tight for these companies while we are doing a bit here.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Kant. It's music to our ears that we are past the worst, at least, for the debt issue. And some beginning has been made in the sale of power plants as well.